On an ordinary Monday evening in San Diego, families gathered to pray. Children studied inside classrooms. Parents talked quietly in the halls. Volunteers prepared meals. And standing near the entrance was a security guard named Amin Abdullah. For more than 10 years, he welcomed every visitor with the same words, "Peace be upon you," but within minutes, that peace would shatter. Two teenagers carrying rifles walked toward the largest mosque in San Diego. Inside the building were nearly 140 children. And between those children and the gunmen stood three men. Three men who knew they might not survive. This is not just the story of an attack. It is the story of sacrifice, of radicalization, and of how hatred born online became deadly in the real world. Amin Abdullah stood at the entrance of the Islamic Center of San Diego the same way he had for years. Welcoming people, smiling at families, protecting a community he loved. Inside the mosque that evening were nearly 140 children. Parents prayed nearby. Teachers prepared lessons. Volunteers moved through the halls. It was supposed to be an ordinary night. Then two armed teenagers arrived. Within seconds, peace turned into chaos. Authorities say the gunmen entered the mosque carrying rifles, searching for victims. And standing between them and the children was Amin Abdullah. He immediately grabbed his radio and ordered the building into lockdown. Then he confronted the attackers himself. Gunfire echoed through the lobby. Even after being wounded, Amin continued fighting, forcing the shooters away from the classrooms and out into the parking lot. Police later said his actions almost certainly saved lives. But Amin would not survive. The attackers shot him outside the mosque he had spent years protecting. The danger, however, was not over. The gunmen re-entered the building, searching through rooms that had just been emptied during the lockdown. That delay gave children and teachers precious seconds to hide. And then two more men stepped forward. 78-year-old Mansour Kaziha, known lovingly as Abu Ez, had spent decades serving the mosque community. People described him as the caretaker, the cook, the handyman, the father figure of the Islamic Center. When the attack unfolded, he confronted the gunmen and managed to call 911 before he was killed. Another man, Nader Awad, lived across the street from the mosque. When he heard gunfire, he ran toward the building because his wife was inside teaching children. He, too, confronted the attackers. He, too, was killed trying to protect others. Police later stated that without the actions of these three men, the death toll could have been far worse, possibly including children. But while the community mourned its heroes, investigators began uncovering another disturbing reality. The two shooters were only 17 and 18 years old. According to the FBI, they met online and bonded over extremist ideology. Authorities discovered writings filled with hatred toward Muslims, Jewish people, black people, immigrants, women, and the LGBTQ community. The teenagers reportedly admired previous mass shooters and referred to themselves as Sons of Tarrant, a reference to the Christchurch mosque attacker who murdered 51 worshippers in New Zealand in 2019. Investigators later found more than 30 firearms and weapons connected to the suspects. The FBI says the radicalization largely happened online. And that may be one of the most frightening parts of this story. Modern extremism often grows quietly. Not in secret bunkers. Not always in organized groups. But online. In forums. In private chats. Through endless videos, memes, and propaganda designed to slowly normalize hate. Experts say many young people are pulled into these spaces while searching for identity, purpose, or belonging. Over time, constant exposure to extremist content can reshape the way they see the world. Hatred becomes normalized. Violence becomes justified. And eventually, fantasy becomes reality. the Islamic center of San Diego was no stranger to threats. Leaders at the mosque said they had received hate mail and hostile messages for years. Security cameras had been installed. Guards like Amin Abdullah were hired because the danger always existed in the background. Yet despite that fear, the mosque remained open and welcoming. Families gathered there for prayer. Neighbors shared meals during Ramadan. Children learned and played inside its classrooms. It was a place built around community. And in the darkest moment imaginable, that community revealed its true character. Amin Abdullah, Mansour Kaziha, Nader Awad. None of them were police officers or soldiers. They were ordinary people. A father, a caretaker, a neighbor. But when faced with unimaginable violence, they chose courage over survival. And because they did, 140 children were given the chance to go home.